shawty be jacking it. She know my swag is immaculate. I don't play pong, I drink activist. Lambo the go, yeah, that's accurate.
Yo, what's good, YouTube? It's your boy, NoMercyLambo, man. And today, we got a fucking banger. We gonna be doing the Gematria Exposed video I just dropped, but we gonna be shortening the video by like a whole hour. This gonna be a quick ass video, and we gonna explain to y'all how the news, sports, history, all that shit is scripted by this thing I call Gematria. Now let's get into it. Now what is Gematria? Basically it's just coding letters into numbers. We got 4 ciphers right here. Now you got English ordinal. A equals 1, Z equals 26, because Z is the 26th letter. Then you got reverse ordinal, which is just that what we just explained backwards. So Z is 1, A equals 26. Now full reduction. Full reduction is basically reducing everything into one digit. So you got A equals 1, B equals 2, but once you get to J, the 10th letter becomes 1 again, because 1 plus 0 is 1. Hence why X equals 6, which is the 24th letter, which is 2 plus 4, which is 6. That's why XXX Tentacion really means 666 temptations. If you take a random category, let's say sports, you got baseball, football, soccer, lacrosse, hockey, kickball. These numbers really don't equal the same shit. You can't find any other 61, no 67s. So more of the story, it's not very likely that you're finna get the same number. So I'm gonna show y'all some crazy ass shit. There was no vowels back then, which means God back then would just be GD, which would be the 7th letter G and the 4th letter D, right? So that gives you 74. Alright, so how much of a coincidence is it that when we only use one cipher, which is just A equals 1, Z equals 26, all these religious words equal 74, just like God. You got occult, as in the Freemasons who started this shit. Masonic, English, we're using English Gematria right now. We're doing Gematria right now, Gematria 74. Jewish, as in the people who created the whole system, if you watch my first video. And Jesus is from Judea, and so Jesus is Jewish. We're talking about Jesus right now. Jesus is also known as Lucifer, because they're both referred to as the morning star. Parables, cross, as in what Jesus was hung on. Heavens, gospel, preacher, Muhammad, as in the Islamic Jesus. Messiah, as in Jesus, 74. Energy, the 33rd state is Oregon. Oregon equals 74, and that's the only state that equals 74. Now look at this list of numbers. All of these numbers coincidentally equal 74 in the same spot. That's no coincidence. Now I'm going to show y'all why these equal 74. One of the first Gematria systems that was ever created was Sumerian Gematria. If you take all these words and you make them in Sumerian, they all equal 444, which is just timesing English ordinal by 6. So how coincidental that the angel number 444 is all these religious words, in the name of God was GD, which was the 7th letter and the 4th letter. When you bring the ciphers back, Independence Day, as in the 4th of July, that's 7-4 because it's the 4th of July. July is the 7th month. Independence Day equals 74. Anyways, let's get to the PowerPoint. So what is the Kabbalah? Basically, the Kabbalah is what the Freemasons study. Their religion is the Kabbalah, which means you can pause this and read it, but it means basically studying metaphysics, which is beyond this physical, and looking at the Bible for deeper meanings. Now, there's a thing, the Sefer Yetzirah, it says God created the word in part by using the 22 letters of the Hebrew alphabet, and they created the universe with the 10 sacred numbers, followed by the creation of numbers. This is what they believe. I don't really believe that, but hey, man, this is what they believe, so this is why we have the system we have today. People of practically all ancient languages use the letters as an alphabet as numbers as well. About 30 years ago, when studying Revelations 13, I'm going to get into that, J.R. Church considered making an English Gematria. He developed an English system based on the number 6. This is where we get Sumerian Gematria, which we just showed with the 444 shit. So we can see the ancients were using this system. Who created the alphabet? The alphabet was created by Semitic people living in or near Egypt. Phoenician, it shows Semitic form of writing developed in Egypt. Phoenician, what does that mean? A member of the Semitic people. Semitic, what does that mean? Relating to the people who speak Semitic languages, especially Hebrew. What does Hebrew mean? Of the Hebrews, of the Jewish people. So we can officially say that Jewish people created the alphabet. which would make a lot of sense why Jewish and all these numbers equals 74/444.
And Ptolemy Soter was killing everybody. And he forced them to deify his name. From Ptolemy Soter to Serapis. Or if they didn't deify him as they had deified Horus, Osiris, and Apis, and combined them and made Osirapis. Ptolemy Soter, soteriology, means the study of salvation. Jesus was the name given to Ptolemy. Yes, there was a church in Africa, but it was forced.
Alright, so right now he's basically explaining how what I just showed in the last slide, that Ptolemy and Alexander the Great and all them motherfuckers came through, fucked Egypt up, and stole their shit, and made their own language, alright?
He is named Anubis, okay? He's all over the walls of Egypt.
He's talking about Egyptian gods right now.
He is an old god dating all the way back to 2600 BC. Every time you see him, you will see him depicted with a dog-type head, or at least mostly when you see him, okay?
Keep that 2600 BC in mind, where they got the dog head from, you feel me?
To get you to where you were supposed to go.
Anubis was a guy.
So where does Anubis take you? He takes you to Sirius, okay? Sirius is one of the largest stars. It is 8.6 light years away from the sun. Sirius actually sits in the constellation of Canis Major. Canis Major is actually where we get the word K9 from, okay? Sirius is called the dog star. Set and Anubis.
He's basically explaining how the name God came from Anubis, who had a dog head, and he would guide you, God, he would guide you to the dog star. You feel what I'm saying?
Anubis is the uncle of Set, okay? So Anubis is the brother of Osiris. Set represents the night. That's why we say sunset. Every night, Set would defeat Horus. When you conquer a people, the first thing you do is make their god your devil, okay? So Set and Anubis clearly look alike. When this was being done, they combined the names. It was Set Anubis, called that name Satan. I know you don't want to hear it, but yes, Satan.
Alright, so they took Set Anubis, right? Which was Set and Anubis. They were related, they looked alike. They combined them because they couldn't tell them apart. Then they made Set Anubis, which then turned to Seton, which turned to Satan. Now, if you look at this, right, this is the first ever Gematria system, which would be Hebrew. And you take the name of God in Hebrew, you can fact check it right here, they did the math for you. That name equals 26, just like Anubis dates back to 2600 BC. And he has the dog head, keep that in mind. When did this Gematria start? What was the oldest time anyone ever used Gematria? In 727 BCE, the king built the wall of Khorsabad 16,283 cubits long to correspond with the numerical value of his name. The English alphabet was created in AD. So we know that Gematria came before the alphabet. So it's feasible to think that they used Gematria to create the alphabet, hence why the words are the way they are and code up the way they do. He was an Assyrian ruler. If you look at Assyria and you zoom it in, you see Egyptian kingdom, right? It was a Mesopotamian kingdom, blah, 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 okay? The Sumerians and Akkadians dominated Mesopotamia, and it fell to Alexander the Great. And then those people, in turn, took this knowledge and created their own alphabet and created their own Gematria-based language. It says ancient Mesopotamia religion was the first recorded. So it would make sense why all the religious words equal the same thing if this comes from that area. Now, a bonus for y'all, the Hebrew word for smoke, Ashan, equals 420. And we never knew why we smoked on 420 and celebrated 420 that day. This is why. Now let's get into the juice. So we were talking about how the name of God in Hebrew is 26, and that's where Gematria started. And Anubis, who they formulated Satan off of, Set Anubis, he dates back to 2600 BC, right? The name God, right? God equals 26. So does dog, where they got that name from, alright? 1 is a prime number, 2 is a prime number, 3 is a prime number, but 4 is not a prime number because it can be divided by 2 times 2. You feel me? A prime number can only be divided by 1 in itself. Alright, so if you type in 101, that's the 26th prime number. Hence why the movie 101 Dalmatians is talking about dogs, right? Dog equals 26, and that's why they chose 101 Dalmatians, because it's the 26 prime number. Like, why wouldn't they just choose a number 100, or why wouldn't they choose 105? Anything better than 101. That's just so random. But if it wasn't because of this, I don't think they would have chose 101 for the movie about dogs. Now, we were talking about Anubis guided you to the afterlife at Sirius, the dog star. I'm not saying that's true. They say he guided you. Guide 26, right? Just like dog and God. All right, and we're using a 26-letter alphabet right now to code this shit up. And letter equals 26, and we're using Gematria code right now, 101 to 26 prime. God made mankind in Genesis 1:26. God said, let us make man in our image, mankind in our image. So this is the Bible verse that he created mankind, the 26th verse. And that's where he created Adam, Adam 26, because Adam was the first man. That's where he created mankind. And he created mankind on the 6th day. There's going to be a correlation between the number 26 and the number 6. He created mankind on the 26th verse on the 6th day. The birthplace of the Kabbalah, what I was telling you, the Freemason study, that was Babylon. Now Thoth, he was the Egyptian god of writing, who if they were to have stole it from, this would be who they stole it from. Ptolemy, Alexander the Great, they were Greeks. They were the ones who came in and snatched this shit. Romans is the 6th book of the New Testament. Apollo equals 26. And Apollo is the son of Zeus. And Zeus is the god of Greek. Sun god, as in Jesus, the son of God. Pisces, 26. Now Jesus was a Pisces. Hence why Virgo constellation, right, is talking about Jesus, right? And Virgin Mary is just symbolic of the Virgo constellation. Hence why you got the M for Mary, and then you got the Jesus fish hanging under, which would be Jesus, right? If that's not enough and you think sun god is coincidence, son of God is 101 to 26 prime. And the reason I'm saying son instead of S-O-N, son, because Jesus is symbolic of the sun. There's Jesus and his 12 disciples. There's the sun and 12 zodiacs. There's a thing called the winter solstice, which I explained in my other Gematria video in depth. The winter solstice, it happens on the December 22nd or December 21st, around that time, right? And then the sun is the furthest away from the earth at that point of time. It looks dark as shit outside for 3 days. And then the winter solstice ends on the 25th, just like Jesus came back on the 25th day when we celebrate Christmas. Jesus has a crown of thorns. The sun has rays that look like a crown of thorns. Jesus walks on water. The sun walks on water. And Horus was known as the sun. Heru is in Horus' other name, Heru. Zeus, the Greek god, Jesus. But God 26, God 26, Heaven 26, Pastor Abraham 26. Now Abraham is the father of damn near everybody in the Bible. And the Abrahamic religions are Christianity, Islam, and Judaism. Adam was created on the 6th day on the 26th verse, and Adam equals 26. And Saturn equals 93, and Saturn is the 6th planet from the sun. Adam lived 930 years exactly. You know, 930, 93. Adam clearly did not live 930 years back then. Like, these were fake numbers that were put in Gematria. Adam died exactly 216 years before the birth of Noah, and Adam is the first man. And I'm not saying Adam was a real person. Now, what's wild is if you look up Revelations 13:18, it shows you. This calls for wisdom. Let the person who has insight calculate the number of a beast, for it is the number of a man. Don't forget Adam was the first man, all right? Now, we're talking about the number of a man here, all right? That number is 666. Now, if you go to your calculator and you multiply 6 times 6 times 6, you get 216, which is exactly how many years Adam died before Noah, all right? And he was the first man. Now, the number of a man is 666, so I hope you see the connection I was making with Adam. The number of a man equals 156. 666 equals 156. And also, Metatron's cube equals 156. Now, what is Metatron's cube? I explained that a lot in the first video. Metatron's cube is this shape right here, which they say is a combination of all the Platonic solids. These are the 5 Platonic solids. You see Earth, right? Earth is a cube. The devil rules the earth. Well, the net of a cube is a cross, and Jesus was on the cross. Jesus and Lucifer, I'm trying to explain how Jesus and Lucifer are the same person. If you look at earth, what Lucifer rules is 2,160 degrees, right? 216, we're seeing it again. And they got that from taking 90 times 4, which is 360, times 6, because there's 6 spaces. And then if you look at fire, you got 60, 60, 60, 666, 666, 666. You feel me? Now, Metatron's cube comes from combining all of these shapes. Now, this is Metatron's cube. 6 circles right here, 6 circles right here, but then you got the one inner circle. That gives you 13 total circles. Don't forget, they chose the Bible verse, Revelation 13:18, to talk about Metatron's cube. You know they're talking about Metatron's cube because the Bible verse is talking about the number of a man, 156, and it's talking about the number of a man is 666, which is 156, and Metatron's cube equals 156 in the same spot. And also, if you take this inner circle of Metatron's cube, there's 6 slices in the inner circle. So you also have 6 plus 6 plus 6. 6 plus 6 plus 6 is 18. Hence why they chose Revelation 13:18 to talk about this exact 666 shit, right? Because you got 13 circles, but 666 within it. And you can also see the 6-point star right here being formulated within this. You see it right here. That's the same shape we're looking at right now. We basically damn near just proved how this Bible verse is talking about gematria and sacred geometry, which goes hand in hand. And I'm kind of showing y'all how the Bible gets deeper when you understand this shit. But what's crazy about the number 26, right? If you take God 26 and you put that in Sumerian, which everything equals 444, the name of God equals 156 in Sumerian. Hence why it would make sense why in English ordinal, Metatron's cube 156, 666 156, and it's the number of a man 156. Mankind was created on the 26th verse on the 6th day. Alright, we're talking about 666 right now, alright? What I'm getting at here is that they say God made mankind in his image. God equals 26. Mankind is Adam. Adam created in the 26th verse. Adam died 216 years, which is 666 before Noah. They're basically telling us we're made in God's image, basically, with this code. That's all the shit's saying. This shit all comes from sacred geometry. So this right here is sacred geometry, right? I explained this a lot more in the first video, but circle, this is the first circle, right, that they believe consciousness projected itself into. The thought came before the body, and they think that this thought, you know, it expanded itself into all directions, which would make a circle because you go 1 degree, 2 degrees, 3 degrees. If you go every direction possible, it's going to create a circle of energy, all right? Now, the circle duplicated, right? Then eventually, the shit went and it created this, what they call the 7 days of creation, right? And then you see you got your 6-point star down here, and you can see all these shapes within Metatron's cube. Alright? So to explain this shit, I like to call this the circle theory, right? We're talking about circles. Alright? If you take 22 divided by 7 on your calculator, 22 divided by 7, it gives you pi. 22 divided by 7 in gematria equals pi. Just like it equals pi on the calculator, okay? And if that's not enough for you, a circle is 360 degrees. 360 equals 22 divided by 7, which is 227. And if that's not crazy for you, let's look up Genesis 1:1, the first book of the Bible, which would be this right here, all right? In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. We're just going to copy this, and we're going to throw it in our calculator. In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. 227. What are the chances? Now, let's keep it pushing with the 26s, man. I just broke down sacred geometry to y'all. Torah equals 26. Adam was created in the 26th verse of the Torah / Bible. It was created in God's image, if you read that Bible verse. Adam was born 26 generations from Moses, the dude who wrote the Torah, the first 5 books of the Bible. There are 26 direct generations from Adam to Moses. They purposely made Adam 26 generations from Moses, who created the Torah. Torah equals 26. We're talking about Adam and Eve, right? Adam made Eve from his rib cage, right? First Adam and Eve story was created from Adam's rib, okay? Now what's crazy is we know the word Adam, right, is talking about DNA and shit like that. Now if you look up DNA, right, DNA, a picture of DNA looks like a rib cage. And we're talking about atom as in Adam, alright? There was an Egyptian god named Adam too, right? He's basically a creator god, so how coincidental. Atom is in like the smallest unit of energy. Atom. Now let's look up mitochondrial Eve, right? Mitochondrial Eve is the oldest living recent ancestor of all humans. She is defined as the most recent woman who all humans descend, right? And you see a picture of Africa right here. Shit ties together when you understand the shit. They made this symbolic in the Bible of that shit, talking about atom in the, like an actual atom, like of science, in the mitochondrial Eve. That's how we get mankind, okay? Now let's keep this shit pushing. This shit's all symbolic. Our bodies, it's anatomy 20, and there's 206 bones in the body. There are 206 bones in the human body. Okay, there's our proof right there. Bones was 26, and our bones are rich with calcium, 26. Our bones are also rich with iron, right? Iron is the 26th element. You see it. It's atomic number 26. So iron is also 26. Carbon also equals 26. Carbon is the 6th element. I mean, we see it right there, atomic number 6. Carbon makes up almost damn near every living thing, right? The earth has a finite amount of living things that are made up of carbon. Carbon makes up 18% of the body, which is 6 plus 6 plus 6. And majority of carbon is carbon-12, which is 98.93% of carbon in the world, right? Now, if you look at that, carbon-12 is composed of 6 protons, 6 neutrons, and 6 electrons, hence the 666. You feel what I'm saying? And it makes up 666% of our body, and it equals 26, and it's on the, and it's atomic number 6. The Earth's axis has a 66.6 degree tilt from its orbital plane. The poles of the Earth are 66.6 degrees north and south. I'm just breaking down to y'all where the 666 shit even comes from in the first place. Alright, we're talking about bones, carbon, bones rich with carbon and iron, iron the 26th element. Skeleton equals 20. Skeleton equals 101, the 26th prime number, the skeleton. And then if you think of bones, the first word you're thinking of is dinosaur. Dinosaur 101, the 26th prime. And when you die, you put your bones in a graveyard. Graveyard 101. Grave equals 26. But let's keep this shit pushing. Now teach. Teach equals 26. And the oldest English-speaking school in history was Oxford. And Oxford is where the Queen lived. And Queen equals 26. Crown equals 26. Royal equals 26. And if you look up Queen Elizabeth, right, she became queen on February 6th. In England, they do a coronation instead of they call it a coronation instead of inauguration. Her coronation was also on 2/6 because June, which is the 6th month, and the 2nd. She became queen on 2/6 and had her coronation on the only other possible 2/6. What's the chances? But the reason it happened is because queen equals 26 and all the words associated with queen equals 26. Temple is 26, where our brain is. They say the body is the temple in the Bible. Your brain thinks. It focuses, logic, comprehend. You see all these words that are associated with thinking. Tongue equals 26. Spoken, you speak with your tongue. Spoken 26. Oral 26 is in orally speaking. Sound 26, which your tongue makes. Noise 26. All these 26. Okay, so a 30-degree movement requires 2,160 years to complete, right? In the zodiac. That's one zodiac house, okay? If you take your calculator, right, and calculate also not only how long it takes, which is exactly 6 times 6 times 6 to pass the zodiac house. If you just go to a regular ass calculator, 2,160, multiply it by the 12 houses, a full zodiac cycle going through the full circle, the wheel, is 25,920, which is damn near 26,000. Full circle was 101, the 26th prime. And the Aztecs and the Greeks were masters of the zodiac. Aztec 26, Greek 26, cosmic, sky 26, zenith 26, air 26, cloud 26, dust 26. Chrono is in relating to time, chronological, and the zodiac is on a wheel, right? Wheel 26. Cancer equals 26. Cancer comes in summer, which is 26. Cancer, the symbol for Cancer is 6-9, right? It takes place between June 22nd and July 22nd. The sign for Cancer is ruled by the moon. This is not a coincidence. The moon landing took place in the time of Cancer. You can see it right here. The moon landing took place in 1969. 1969, the moon landing happened, right? 69 is in Cancer, and it took place in the time of Cancer. And the moon landing was on the 201st day of the year, by the way. And Neil Arden Armstrong equals 201, like the day of the year that he landed on the moon. And Crusade equals 26. That's damn near where they got all the Kabbalah knowledge from, was the Crusades. Now the New Testament, which came from the Crusades in the Catholic Church, the New Testament is composed of 260 chapters. It's 260 chapters. What's the chances? They did that shit mad on purpose, right? Because Catholic Bible equals 101 to 26 prime. And the Old Testament was originally written in Hebrew 101 to 26 prime. And the New Testament was originally written in Greek, which is 26. And it's talking about Christianity. Christian equals 101 to 26 prime. And the seal on the dollar bill, right, is a phoenix. It's not a bald eagle, I hate to tell you. Phoenix 26. And the phoenix was symbolic, you know, sun god Egypt, shit like that, right? And sun god 26, I already explained that to y'all. And burn 26, blaze 26. And, you know, the phoenix is on the dollar, just like the 6-point star. And dollar equals 26, and bank equals 26, and IRS equals 26. Americans pay a percentage of their taxes to the Queen of England and the IRS, all right? And you see IRS equals that, right? And IRS comes from the Boston Tea Party, right? You got T 26, Party 26, and that shit took place in Boston, Massachusetts. 260, right? That's where the Boston Tea Party took place. And if you look up the date of the Boston Tea Party, it's 12/16/73. If you go to your calculator and you add 12 plus 16 plus 73, the date 12 plus 16 plus 73, you get 101, the 26 prime number, okay? Now let's get into sports. Game 26. Ball game 26. Yankees 26. Babe, the best Yankee ever. Yankees the best baseball team in history. The dude who invented baseball was Abner Doubleday. His name equals 89, 35, and 154. Grand Slam, the best thing you can get in baseball, is also 89, 35, and 154. And the Grand Slam record, if you look at it, was hit, right, on June 3rd, 2017, which was the 154th day of the year that year. And baseball started out with an 154 game season, and Abner Doubleday invented baseball. Hence why the 154 is so important. And it's just mad, like, there's no way they would have chose 154 for the number of games in a season if the shit wasn't scripted. Just like right now, how the baseball season has an 162 game season, and baseball equals 162, and there's 54 total outs in the game, and there's 18 half innings because there's 9 innings, but there's 2 teams, and each team gets 3 outs per inning and 3 outs. Each team would be 6 outs total per inning, and 6 times 9 innings is 54. And the whole thing of baseball is all coded up right here. And we're still talking about sports right now, right? Sports 26. And we're talking about action 26. And Jordan was, you know, one of the best athletes ever. Just like athlete equals 26. And just like Jordan equals 26, Bryant equals 26. And Michael Jordan equals 113, just like Kobe Bryant equals 113, and they both had very, 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 very signature games against the Utah Jazz, like Kobe's 60-point game and Michael Jordan's fucking buzzer beater against the Jazz. The picture of Michael Jordan dunking, the famous picture, happened with 3 minutes and 51 seconds on the clock, right? 3:51, and if you look up 3:51, right, it's the 26 triangular number, which means if you take 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5 plus 6 all the way up to 26, it equals 351. So what's really the chances? Anyways, let's keep this shit pushing. We done with the 26s, man. Let's get into some other shit for fun, right? Old Town Road, right? Old Town Road. That was a famous song last year. And it was created by Montero Hill. It was a one-hit wonder. So what's the chances that his only hit song was 141, 156, and 57 in the exact same spots? Similar to like what's the chances that judge equals this and gavel what a judge holds equals the exact same thing? Or similar to how witch equals this and broom, which she holds, equals the exact same thing. Some more cool shit. Wilt Chamberlain, right? His name used to be Wilton Chamberlain. Like, not used to be. That's his real name. Wilton Chamberlain. Equals 100. The amount of points he scored in reverse full reduction. Kobe Bean Bryant equals 81, right? In the same exact spot. What's crazy about Kobe scoring 81, he scored 81 on his 666 game. What is the chances out of all games he scored that if it's not scripted? But after the game, to prove to you it's scripted, he said, not even in my dreams. When he scored he scored his number on his 666 game, right? And I know he knows what he did, because what he said after the game, I copy-pasted it, not even in my dreams. It equals 243 in the same spot as Kobe Bryant. It equals 216, as in 6 times 6 times 6, which was the game he scored it on, and it equals 81, the amount of points he scored. And if that's not enough for you, we already went over how the mark of the beast was 666, and mark of the beast equals 54 and 81 in the same exact spots, man. This is going to be the grand finale for this video. I'm explaining to y'all how the Super Bowl was coded and rigged through Gematria, and how I used that shit to make me $1,400 when I bet on that shit, because I knew it was scripted. In my first video, I was talking about how Yale is associated with the secret fraternity Skull and Bones and how they worship Moloch the Owl God, right? Well, if you look up famous Skull and Bones members, you can see the Bush family was deeply tied into this shit, okay? And look, you see it right here, George Bush. You got the other Bush. All the Bushes were tied into this Yale fraternity, right? All right, now you see the logo for Skull and Bones, right? This is the logo. It's a skull and bones. Now, Tom Brady, right, he went to the only team, 1 out of 32 chance in the NFL, that would have had the Skull and Bones logo for this ritual, right? Now, I'm explaining the ritual to y'all. George Bush was the 43rd president of the United States, but his father was the 43rd vice president, right? And his brother, Jeb Bush, was the 43rd governor of Florida. Now, what's the chances all three of them are 43s? Like, be real with yourself. No one's around. Be real with yourself. What are the fucking chances, my nigga, if this shit was not scripted? So now that we know all these 43s that went to Skull and Bones, and we know Tom Brady chose the Skull and Bones themed team, how coincidental that Tom Brady, the 43-year-old football player, went to Florida, 43, where Jeb Bush was the governor, 43rd governor exactly, and Yale equals 43, and football equals 43, and Tom Brady is known now as the GOAT of football, GOAT 43. And what's wild about that, to top it all off, right, if that's not enough 43s and the 43-year-old GOAT winning at the Skull and Bones themed team at age 43, when all the fucking famous Bush members of Skull and Bones were the 43rds of their shit, it's letting you know the fucking ritual and what the ritual was. It was a tribute to Skull and Bones, and Tom Brady was part of it, alright? To finalize it all, a dude died, right, at age 26. To top it all off, a 26-year-old died shortly after the Super Bowl. You can look up the date of this. He died in Goatville, right? He shot and killed in the Goatville neighborhood. 26-year-old Jang was shot on 2/6. 26-year-old on 2/6 was shot in Goatville neighborhood in New Haven, where many Yale students, and that tops off the Yale and the Goatville. I hope y'all seen the connection. This shit is no fucking game, man. I hope y'all enjoyed this video. I tried to keep it short and simple for y'all, man. And I'm gonna drop another, Kobe exposed and all that shit. I got way more coming for y'all, man. Peace.
But I just brought it back, put in some work, now my diamonds do jumping jacks. Jump on the stage, make a dime, have a heart attack. 21 young, done my thumb through 100 racks. I am not cuffing nobody, no cardiac. Lambo truck, I gotta watch where I'm parking that Lambo up. Now I got fans who want autographs. I'm the plug, I got plugs that keep coming back. Spend a rack every day cause I